Mm-mm-mm. Mm-mm-mm. Okay, here we go. Being his mate wasn't such a bad thing. Mm-mm-mm. Being his mate wasn't such a bad thing. I was still in a drunken haze of sexual bliss, and every woman should have a chance to feel so sensational. But not with my man. There I went again. When he suddenly. Oh, my stomach is making cool noises. Cool. There I went again. When he suddenly appeared with. Fuck. There I went again. When he suddenly appeared with a belt from my closet, I glared at him. What are you doing? Well. You doing? You doing? Well, you were eavesdropping on a private conversation, for one thing. If we'd talked, you'd know. The communication I mentioned. It's entirely possible we wouldn't have had a misunderstanding. I think that deserves. Oops. I think that deserves a good old-fashioned round of punishment. Oh, I don't think so. I scrambled to crawl off the bed, but he was having none of it, yanking me backward. With his hand firmly planted around my long strands of hair, he maneuvered the belt until it was exactly the way he wanted. I thought for certain the thin fake leather wouldn't cause any pain whatsoever. As I'd been with so many other As I'd been with so many other aspects of my life, I was dead wrong. The pain was blinding in a way that kept me still for a few seconds. All I could do was concentrate on my breathing. Stephen wasn't gentle either, cracking the belt against my sit spots. Finally, after the fourth smack, my body and mind willed themselves from the intense fog I'd been driven into. Ouch! Stop that! As if my exclamation was going to do a damn thing. It wasn't. He continued the spanking, bringing the belt down several times while I clawed at the sheets until he found the sound. Oops. It wasn't. He continued this. It wasn't. He continued the spanking, bringing the belt down several times while I clawed at the sheets until the sound of something ripping could be heard. What did I care at this point? The pain brought explosive jets, scorching every inch of my skin, while little specks of light created pinpricks in front of my eyes. My skin was on fire, much. Ooh, let's mute one word here. Excitement. Wham! Bam! Thank you, ma'am. Okay, onward. Excitement. On top of the agony, he was enjoying the hell out of himself. The man was whistling. Was he crazy? He took his time marking me, adding a flair of the dramatic when he brought the strap down, as if the way he was. There's a Harley Davidson outside. Good lord. Welcome, welcome. Was he crazy? He took his time marking me, adding a flair of the dramatic when he brought the strap down, as if the way he was marking me was an art form. Now my stomach's making noises. Shush, stomach. Sub painfully honest. Was an art form. In an unexpected moment, the anguish shifted in. Now my dog's barking. We're having a very loud time right now. Well. I wonder what we're barking at. The strap down, as if the way he was marking me was an art form. An art form? It was an art form. No, Nova, please. Enough barks. Well, well, well. I don't know if you guys can hear it. Me was an art form. Okay, here we go. Now I lost my spot. Perfect. Holy crap, I really lost my spot. This is horrible. Who does this? Who does this? Curling his body, yep. Keeping me close. There we go. In an unexpected moment, the anguish shifted into something far too pleasurable, leaving me wet and horny. Whatever was happening between us, I was strangely happier than I'd been in a long time. All because of a wolf. After 6 more cracks of the belt, he tossed it aside, pushing me down and curling his body around mine, where he held me, keeping me close. It was funny how, after sex before, I'd always gotten so cold. I was still hot, and his body was also to the touch. Oh, to the touch. Oh, to the... Oopsies. Gotten so cold. I was still hot. And his body was also... Oh my god. I was still hot. And his body... Oh my god, why can't I say this? Annabella, thank you. Welcome. I was still hot. His body was... Hello, Dexter Morgan. How's your day? Doing fantastic. Hello, Botok. Botok? Bay? Tio? Oh my god, I'm terrible at this. Can you believe I read for a living? His body was still hot, and his body also was hot to the touch. But the warmth was everything I wanted, and something I didn't know I'd needed. Several peaceful moments drifted by, the comfort of his body almost like a cocoon. Yet, this girl had so many questions running around in her mind. How often do you shift? He laughed. I didn't lie to you. About that, anyway. I rarely shift. It's not the same as when we were kids. Wham. When we were kids. What's up, Faye? Same as when we were kids. The loud noise outside needs to go away. Okay, it's gone. Same as when we were kids. What happened when you were kids? The pack used to have contests like human kids had softball games. Whoever was the fastest, strongest, and most viral. Viral? I gotta look that up. Golly! Antipasto is what I looked up last time. Viral. Having strength, energy, and a strong sex drive. Ooh, viral. Okay. Okay, brain, back to it. Maybe, if it's gonna load. There it goes. Viral. What happened when you were kids? Softball games. Whoever was the fastest. Softball games. Whoever was the fastest, strongest, and the most virile was given a trophy. Sounds like the Hunger Games. Except we didn't kill each other. At least, not usually. When I lifted my head, he snorted. I'm kidding. We're not savages, no matter what you might be thinking. I honestly wasn't certain what I was thinking. Everything that had occurred over the last few hours had been surreal. Even with how close I felt to him, I had to remind myself that nothing lasted forever. Not friendships, not relationships, not lives. That was the terrible yet factual reality. Hi, Stephanie. Factual reality. Do you kill and eat animals? Let me try that again. Factual reality. Do you kill and eat animals? Jesus, I didn't realize you were planning on grilling me on shifter etiquette. I pulled out of his arm so I could look him in the eye. If I'm going to be your mate, I guess I need to know these things. Wham. So if you go out some night after midnight, I won't think you were with another woman. He laughed and peered down at me, but seconds later, his smile faded. First of all, I don't cheat. That has nothing to do with being a mate, and don't you pay any attention to the puck bunnies. My mama raised me right, although she will tell you I'm not perfect. Trust me, humans aren't either. We hunt for sport sometimes. I'm not going to lie to you, but there's no need to gather fresh roadkill for food any longer. Ah, yes, because you can easily purchase beef in the grocery stores. That's what my brother's mate said. Yup, we can head on into Costco and purchase whatever we want. We even have careers. When he started tickling me, I pushed him away. Stop! I'm being serious here. Aren't there bad shifters? Yeah, well, of course there are. Just like humans. He rolled over onto his back, crossing his arms behind his head. Where are you going with all this? Just curious. Okay, look, as with any other species, we have our bad eggs. We've tried to handle them without human interference. We have our own laws, our own communities. You mean packs and prides and... You might find it interesting my parents live in a community association. What's up, Tess? Welcome. They have friends. My dad plays golf. My mother shops too much. Dad is on the board of directors of his homeowners association, and yes, many of his neighbors are shifters. But not all. Just normal people. With special attributes. Yes. The look of concern on his face was endearing. Morning. Hey, Sammy. Yes. The look of concern on his face was endearing. Do you live forever? I don't know why I was asking. I honestly wasn't certain I wanted to hear the answer. We live longer. Generally 2 or 3 times longer. But human diseases are taking a toll on us. Human diseases? He narrowed his eyes. Yeah, like cancer. It's still mostly unheard of, but there are rare cases. Are you okay? You look flushed. I'm fine. But I was anything but fine. The reality of this was finally starting to settle in. We weren't playing a game of house or even falling in love. This mating thing was ridiculous, even if that's what it felt like we were doing. In truth, I wasn't certain I was ready for a long-term relationship of any kind, and even if I was, how could I saddle him with what I knew I was about to go through? I avoided thinking the words just in case he could read my mind. Oceans. Hot sex. Being fired from my job once the school administrators read the social media posts. See? Another reason this relationship wasn't a good idea. Wasn't a good idea. As soon as I looked away. Wasn't a good idea. As soon as I looked away, he gripped my chin with his thumb and forefinger. What's wrong? Do you hate me because I'm a shifter? Of course not. That's not it. I'm just overwhelmed, I guess. Completely understandable. Oh, I'm getting a phone call. Hold up. It's Biz. And we're back. And my dog's barking. Guess. Completely understandable. It'll take time. His entire brow furrowed. He was trying to figure out what I was thinking. Chocolate. Horror movies. Never speaking to my horrible parents again. I guess. Just so you know, you're beautiful. More so when you climax, he whispered. Come here. He pulled me back into his arms, holding me tightly. I could drown in his massive arms. Does this mean I really belong to you? Does that bother you? Honestly, I don't know. This isn't normal. This isn't how relationships usually go. How do they go? Ooh, whoa, I said that so weird. What's up, bubble kisses? Relationships usually go. How do they go? His hot breath created another... Okay, come on. His hot breath created another wave of tingles. Is there a set rule somewhere I don't know about? I admit, I'm not good with dating, but I didn't think everything had to follow a pattern. I pulled his arms more tightly around me, smiling, when he planted oopsies. Smiling when he even planted his leg over mine. I was going nowhere. You're right. My parents followed that rule and see where it got them? My guess is your parents didn't have any rules. Oh, my mother hated my father at first. Oil and water. He yawned. In fact, she poisoned him, but that's another story. It was all love and being inseparable after he recovered in the hospital. When I laughed and he didn't, I closed my eyes. His family was crazy, and I realized that maybe what I'd needed my whole life was a little bit of crazy. Almost in the same spirit as having a shifter as a fiancé. There were 24 questions to ask, including the most basic regarding any future plans, but I was far more exhausted than I'd been in a very long time. Future plans. But I was far more exhausted than I'd been in a very long time. I closed my arms, nuzzling against the warmth of his chest. Long time. I nudged, oh my God, come on. Long time. I closed my arms. Long time. I closed my arms, nuzzling against the warmth of his chest. And as soon as I could, say the whole word, dude. Of his chest. And as soon as I feel, of his chest. And as soon, my God, what is my brain doing? Of his chest. And as I could feel myself falling asleep, I envisioned myself as a wolf standing beside one giant alpha male. All right, section break. We did it. Let's go. Oh. Okay. Male. Bam, bam, bam! What was that? I jerked my head up, wincing from seeing the early morning sun. I listened again, trying to ascertain what I was hearing. I'd settled in once again when the same 3 hard pounding noises occurred. Only this time, I realized it was coming from the bedroom window. So many phone calls. From the bedroom window. Wake up, I moaned, fighting to get out of Stephen's arms. We'd stayed locked in the same position for hours. How was that even possible? What is it? He asked, his voice entirely too dreamy for whatever was going on. We've got company. I finally disengaged, rising onto my knees so I could look out the window. Seeing Tawny's face plastered against the glass brought a shriek. "What are you doing here? Is the beast in there with you?" I wasn't certain if she meant the hockey player or the wolf. "Yes, why?" "Unless you're prepared to face a brigade of reporters, I suggest you leave through the back door and find my car on the other street. They're coming in droves." Droves? Was she kidding me? "How do you know that?" She narrowed her eyes, even shielding them from the sun. "Girl, what are you doing?" "None of your business. How do you know they're coming?" "Because Jeff mentioned he and a group of reporters would soon be heading out. I knocked him out with a vase and stole his car keys. But others will be arriving. Come on, I'll get you both to safety." "You knocked out your boyfriend?" "Desperate times call for desperate measures. He's a dud anyway. Now get moving." "Okay, we'll be there shortly." I pulled away from the window, realizing that no matter where we went for the unforeseeable future, reporters would hound us. I wasn't that girl. I couldn't tolerate something like that. Besides, I hadn't signed up to be his latest fling. No matter the ruse I'd used on my parents only to have it thrown back in my face, I wasn't his fiancée. I was just a girl who'd gotten caught up in a fantasy. Or a nightmare. "What's going on?" Stephen yawned, stretching his arms. "The press is coming. You need to get dressed. My best friend will take you wherever you want to go." "What are you going to do? Are you going to force him to give up his career just to take care of you?" Coffee? Missing him. Keeping my resolve because letting him go was the right thing to do. "Huh? You don't want to come with me?" His entire face was pinched in confusion. I backed off the bed, immediately grabbing a robe from inside my closet. "Look around you, Stephen. This is my home. I have a job I need to get to on Monday." "We'll work it out, I promise you. We'll find another place to live and things will be good. I'll do whatever's necessary." "You shouldn't have to do anything." He scratched his jaw, and I realized just how much fur had grown on his face overnight. The shifter thing was real, but I couldn't allow But I couldn't allow the mating thing to continue. "Oh, for God's sake. The crap about us getting married was a lie, and one I never intended on being taken out of context. Whatever the hell that means. You don't need to be tied to me or vice versa. Not because the press and whoever your what the fuck, wrong fucking the whole time. Whatever the hell that you. I did the wrong character. Oh, for God's sake. The crap about us getting married was a lie, and one I never intended on being taken out of context. Whatever the hell that means. You don't need to be tied to me or vice versa. Not because the press and whoever your social media guru is might like the coupling. My dad is out to get your kind." I tied the sash as tightly as I could and continued breathing. "My kind?" He crawled off the bed, snatching his shirt from the floor. "What does that mean?" "It just means that you're a shifter and I'm a human. We shouldn't mix." "What is going on?" "Nothing. How could I tell him what I knew in my heart and soul? How could I dare put that burden on him? I just couldn't do it. That would be selfish, and I wasn't that way. Bloodthirsty vampires, monsters, finding a way to destroy my father. This just isn't going to work out. We had fun, but that's all it can be, okay? Tawny will make sure you have your privacy." Now I couldn't look him in the eyes. "What about your parents?" His voice was gruffer, his body stiffening as he jerked on his clothes. I'll let them know we talked about it and everything was premature. I couldn't look him in the eyes. Premature. I couldn't, oh my god. Premature. Premature. I couldn't look him in the eyes. The ache so severe, I wanted nothing more than to crawl under the covers. But this was the right thing to do. That'll sure make my father happy. Oopsies. Ew. That'll sure make my father happy. But little does he know, I'm never speaking to him again. Jesus, what aren't you telling me? Hurry, okay? Oopsies. Okay? According to Tawny, dozens of reporters are on their way. I know you need time, and you don't want to be caught here. That'll further ruin your reputation. What are you talking about? Ruin my reputation? That's ridiculous. Just go, okay? Go out the back. She'll be waiting for you. I was more than exasperated. I was about ready to burst into tears. What had I done to myself? Oopsies. Tears. Tears. Why had I done this to myself? The moment of silence was excruciating. That's what you really want? There was so much hurt in his voice. Yes. Look at me when you say that. Remember why you're doing this? So I did. Against everything I thought I wanted, I was able to look him in the eyes and tell him to go. Please, just leave. You're a great guy, but this isn't right for me. I'm sorry. His face wore emotions I didn't know existed, and he went through every one of them. The last being anger, or maybe resentment. While I had no idea what he was thinking, when he slammed the door with enough force I jumped, I pretty well knew he hated me, and I didn't blame him in the least. There we go. We got our chapters done today. I'm gonna edit for a bit.